I went to market this morning. The cupboard is bare. I quit going to the large supermarket a year or so ago. I only go very occasionally for some sale, but I shop in smaller markets. But I saw this guy in there. It was early in the morning and I was in the produce department, and I remembered this man. I had used to see him. Don's his name. Sort of heavy set, always very jolly and friendly. Would clue me in on what was good that day, and we were buddies kind of. But then I quit going. But he recognized me, wanted to know where I'd been and everything. So I told him I'd just got back from Viet Nam. Oh, why would you want to go there? He said. So I told him, actually the only reason I went was I have an Australian friend who was going to be there for the month of November, and she asked me if I'd like to join her. So that gave me an excuse. I'll go any place with a slight nudge. So he said, well, I guess it's getting popular with tourism now. We talked about that. He said, well, I have several friends that have gone there, and they were vets and from the war, and they've gone there. And then we chatted a little more, and I started to walk away, and then I said, have you been to Vietnam? And he said, yeah. And I said, were you in the war? He said, yeah, I was in the war. I was on the front line. I can't talk about it. I stutter when I talk about it. And I came home. And I watched this movie that I had lying around. I was going to watch before I went, but I never had. It's called Hearts and Minds. It's about the Vietnam War. So I had to face all that. Actually, when I first was thinking of going to Vietnam, all I could think about was the war. Why would I want to go there? What we did there is so horrible. When I was in Hue, there's this place called the Citadel, and it's a walled-in area where the nobility lived. It's beautiful, beautiful grounds. And then I was told that the citadel within the citadel was the purple forbidden city, and I looked and looked for it. I couldn't find it. The forbidden palace, I think, the purple forbidden palace. When I asked my friend about it, I said, I looked all over for that, and she said, oh, that was that big area between the reading pavilion and one of the other major buildings. That was that depressed area. That's where that palace building had been, and the U.S. bombed it. That's the crater where that had been.